You are all not going to believe this crazy idea I came up with. Do you like t-shirts with images on it like this one right here? Well, not necessarily this one right here. You don't have to like this one, but I've been experimenting with image transfers of all different kinds, and I knew that my quick transfer paper worked on fabric, but there's the question of, well, if I put it on my t-shirt, what's going to happen in the wash? Well, you're not going to believe what I came up with. This is so cool. You've got to stick to the end and watch exactly what I do. Now, what I have right here is an extra large t-shirt because, unfortunately, I'm an extra large guy. I kind of ironed it out a little bit just to kind of get some of the crinkles out of here because it is a brand new t-shirt. You get these cheap t-shirts for pretty cheap. They're not that expensive. If you buy a dozen of them online, you get a dozen for like, 25, 30 bucks. I'm going to put an image on this t-shirt, but what's trippy is I'm not going to use a heat press and I'm not going to use an iron. In other words, I'm not using an iron-on transfer. Just think about this. If you're already doing transfers onto like wood, for example, like I did here and on a lot of my videos, you're doing it on paper, your journals and stuff like that. What I did is a bunch of experiments with my image transfer paper onto t-shirts, and then I started running them through the wash, wash, dry, wash, dry, wash, dry. And I have this one t-shirt I wore all day yesterday. I had a faded image in the front, partial image on here, an image on the back, and they were all experiments that I had done trying to see if there was a way that I can make t-shirts, with designs and stuff for my computer and print it on the quick transfer paper, and is available at my website at RixCanDoIt.com, by the way. And I came up with a way to do it, and it works. You don't iron it. You don't need a heat press. What I did is I printed out an old-time poster of Bob Dylan. It's when he was, I guess, at the Manchester Free Trade Hall in 1966. And yes, it's mirrored because you got to print it mirrored and use the laser printer. I haven't tried this with an inkjet yet, and if later on I'm going to try an inkjet and see what happens. I know that the inkjet doesn't come out as good for wood transfers, but I thought, why not I try it on t-shirts too? So I'll do that later. Maybe I'll come up with a way to use the paper with an inkjet. But laser printers now, the color laser printers are cheap enough that, you know what, if you really like quick color prints, get a laser printer, people. This is the year 2021.
Boy, no fooling!
All right? We shouldn't still be dealing with inkjets unless you want it because you do photography and you want to print out your family prints. Inkjets do have an advantage there, but I'll tell you, it's hard to beat the color prints you get off of laser color. I mean, and I don't make a penny in promoting any particular laser printer. And there goes my laser printer talking right now, thanking me. You hear that? You're welcome, HP. Print out your print, whatever it is, on my quick transfer paper. So this is assuming you have my paper. You want to use something like this 3M 77 multi-purpose adhesive. I tested Super 90 and Super 77. They both work, but 77 is cheaper. Okay, so it's under $10 for this can at Home Depot or Lowe's or online at Amazon. And it doesn't make any smell, so I'm going to spray it right here inside my studio office. Trim off the excess white, you don't want that. So I'll leave a little bit of white, I guess, on the edges here, Just not on the sides. I wanted to take that off. Besides, I'll make it fit in my box. Get a bigger box. I have a small box here. And that's kind of a disadvantage for me. But anyway, I'm going to stick it in this box because it's going to allow me to spray it with the adhesive. Get your adhesive. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. And then spray it really good. Okay? Nice thing about this adhesive, it sprays in a fan pattern, so that's really good. Make sure you got good coverage there. All right, now I'm going to use my finger to get to the edge there so I can pull it out. Woo, okay. And then you want to lay it down where you want it on the shirt. Okay, so 4 inches down, about right there. Looks centered, and presto muno. No ironing. No ironing, people. I'm telling you. You don't need an iron to do a transfer onto your shirt using this paper. This is a mind blower, man. When I came up with this idea, I was so excited because those of you who have been watching my videos for years, you know that I'm always wearing shirts with images on them, at least most of the time. I love printed designs. I don't buy them, I make them. I like to make them. Just make them. What do you buy them for? You know, you pay $10, $15, $20, whatever for a shirt. The only shirt that I would buy for $10, $15, $20 or whatever is a RixCanDoIt t-shirt, and it's over at my Teespring store. I'm going to take a hairdryer to it. You can leave it alone, walk away, come back 5-10 minutes, and it'll be all done. I'm going to just speed it up. I'm going to assume that adhesive is dry, because it doesn't really take that long. It only takes, you know, a minute, 2 minutes. Test it out yourself. How long do they say here? Bonding range is 30 seconds to 15 minutes. Okay, get some water. Okay, you don't care you're going to get your t-shirt a little wet, but you want to soak this paper. All right, so let's soak the paper. And notice we're not using any irons, no burning yourself, no heat. Okay, we're just using adhesive, and then we're going to release the image with a little moisture, and then the image is transferred. Let's see here. All right, make sure it soaks in. You want it to soak in because you don't want to tear any of that image off your shirt. So try to get a corner, lift it up. Okay. And this doesn't peel off like it does on wood, by the way, so you do have to do a few little pulls to get it off. But look at this, guys. Okay, I did leave a little bit behind, so apparently I wasn't that good with my my spraying. You got to make sure that you spray it really good, and you got to make sure that it doesn't dry on you. So, but I don't mind a little bit of that aged look. See, that all came off. So just make sure that when it's in the box, you spray it really, really good, and then you get it onto your shirt a little quicker than I did, and then you press down really well. Then of course you got to moisturize the paper, and look, it's all off. Now, I made a couple of mistakes here. Look at this shirt, people. Look at the shirt, though. I mean, besides my little mistake here, that's a cool looking shirt. Here, let me show you. Look. Look. No ironing. No ironing. No heat press. Couple of minutes. Spray. Glue it on. Let it dry. Few minutes, heat it if you want, whatever. No iron, nothing. You could use an iron to speed things up. That's up to you, but that's an option. It's not a requirement. No heat press. None of that stuff. And there you go. You have your t-shirt. Now, let me tell you, this is great if you want to wear it as a one-day thing, you know, and you're in a hurry, you got a wedding or some kind of a celebration or another, and you want to make a bunch of t-shirts for your friends and families for the occasion. Imagine how quick you can whip out a whole bunch of these, right? But if you want it to be permanent, you want to keep it for, you know, a while. You want to be able to wash it in your washer and dryer and not have it fade on you and come apart and whatever, because right now all it is just an image glued onto your shirt, right? It's really nice. It feels really good too. See, and look, stretch. You see the stretch? I know you guys are going to ask about that, so take a look at that. It stretches. See? Look at that. First thing you have to do is make sure, though, that the moisture is gone, because I wet the shirt. So dry your shirt or let it dry. Okay, I'm going to let this continue to dry because it's still a little wet from spraying it with water. But look at this. That is awesome. See that? All right, well, I just finished taking my 2 t-shirts outside and sprayed it with that clear, Krylon clear, and they're drying right now, but as you can see, I've done the Star Wars one as well. And if you notice the difference, I put masking tape around the borders of the Star Wars one, and the reason I did that is it's not that I don't want to spray the clear on the t-shirt part, because that's fine. You want to protect the edge of your image anyway, and so it's good to extend beyond the edges a little bit. But because I didn't like the glue that I had on the green t-shirt, because I chose to mask it off and spray the adhesive on the t-shirt as well as the transfer, which is something that I'm going to say probably not a good idea, which I discovered as I did it. And that was the first time that I actually tried that, and I don't like that idea. So I masked that part. So the masking tape is on top of that actual edge, because I don't want to seal that in like I did with the image here. It's, you know, it's got that sealant on here. I don't want to seal in the little mistake, in hopes that as it goes through the wash once or twice, it will actually look less and less. These are drying right now, mildly tacky, but you know, I'm just going to let them sit around and dry. You certainly don't want to wash these for until at least 24 hours, but you can certainly wear them pretty much right away after they're, you know, after they dry. But I'll tell you something really cool is that if you use the clear on your image, it's going to keep the image from fading. Okay, now you might have noticed that I am wearing that shirt, and it has already gone through 2 washes. 2 washes, and here's something I've learned. There is a little bit of speckling. Okay, I did a lot of stretching and stuff, and you know, you kind of learn from this, you know, as you're doing it. But the thing is that's 2 washes for something that's not even really made to be washed. I mean, this transfer paper is not made for garments, but I just want to show you guys the stuff you can do. I mean, this is going to last me quite a long time. I mean, sure, over time it's probably going to become less and less, but if you don't have a heat press, or you don't want to hassle with ironing, and you really do need a heat press if you're going to be doing, you know, professional shirts and stuff. But here I want to show you something. Now here's something that I want to do as an experiment. I want to have a little fun with this, have a little fun with you guys, right? You're here spending time with me on my channel. Here I have some transfer paper. This one here is for light garments, and this one here is for dark garments. I got 2 from dark garments from 2 different companies. One I got from, I think this is a Nina brand. I'm not sure, or maybe the bigger ones I have are Nina brand. This one is Laser One Opaque, so whoever makes that. And then I've got this from PPD, which is Photo Paper Direct. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to use the light white transfer paper because I'm going to use an old T-shirt, a white T-shirt. That means you don't have to do any white spraying or anything on either of them. I want to just see how they both stand up over some washes and so forth. You know, I expect the one that's actually made, a transfer paper actually made for garments and using a heat press, I would expect it, of course, to do the best, right? I mean, that's what it's designed for. Now, right here, I have the transfer paper. You can see the little squares in the back there that they have on it. This is the transfer paper that you use on a heat press. And they have theirs written in Celsius. They say that you got to do it at 100 and, I think you said 190. Oh, by the way, this is inkjet. Okay, this paper is not laser. It's inkjet. And my quick transfer paper is laser. You got to use laser. So here's the two side by side here if you want to look at it. All right. There we go. Okay, now back to this temperature thing again. It's 190 degrees Celsius. So I wrote a note here because I don't know Celsius. Never met the guy. But I'm familiar with Fahrenheit. We used to hang out, you know. And I got 374 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 seconds. So that's what I'm going to press this down with. Now it says you need to kind of carve out as much of this white stuff, which I totally agree. So I'm going to cut it out. I got that all cut out. And I'm about ready to press it. So let me go press this and I'll be right back. Now this is a hot or cold peel, according to the instructions. So I'm going to let it cool off here before I peel it off. And hopefully I got that centered, but this is an experiment, so you know. Oh well. But yeah, this is a hot or cold, according to the instructions. It says you can peel it hot or cold. Okay, if you do it hot, you have to do it immediately after the ironing or pressing. But when you do it cold, you gotta let the paper cool to room temperature. There's no time and how long you can wait. You can wait for whatever if you're going to do cold. It will leave a glossy finish on the shirt, so you'll want to press it again with that finishing paper. So now it's at room temperature. It cools really, really fast. So now what we need to do is we need to find an edge here and just peel off the backing paper and nothing else. Okay, so there is a little bit of effort you got to do, just like anything else. But looks like it's come out good. I'm gonna have to do this in multiple runs here. Okay, so even transfer paper, you got to do this. T-shirt transfer stuff. I don't want to ruin my image here. Okay, there's that. Okay, see, it's kind of a yellowing thing here. Okay, let's grab this part here. All right, and I think that's a pretty nice looking thing there. I'm sure you will agree. And give it a little stretch. This is really good to help prevent the cracking thing and everything, you know, make it softer and so forth. Let me put it back on the press to minimize this glaze here and fix it. I'm going to let this thing cool, but I could feel it's sticky-ish. You know, it's got that plastic sticky feeling to it, but that is a really That really came out nice. I think that's a really nice transfer. Yeah, I think I'm pretty center. Yeah. Okay. You know, sometimes even centering maybe sometimes is better to go over a little bit or whatever. But anyway. And it's good to trim that outside there, so that worked out really good. Okay. Now we're going to put one on the back of the shirt using this quick transfer paper. We're going to have a little fun with that. So let me, again, I like to leave a little bit of space beyond the image. And I printed this with my laser printer on the RixCanDoIt transfer paper, quick transfer paper. And this, of course, is used to transfer images onto things like wood, furniture, you know. You can do it on canvas and pretty much anything that an adhesive will stick to. Because that's what I'm using here as an adhesive spray you get for less than 10 bucks to put this on. And then because this particular adhesive spray is you can wash and it won't come off with the wash, that means the image will stay on, but it's the top of the image as far as washing that's the concern, because you know that it's got nothing to protect it. So then I come in and I use that clear Krylon crystal clear spray to protect it, and it seems to be working pretty good, except I think it gets a little spotty. So I don't know if that's because I didn't spray it enough, or I don't know, or maybe I didn't have enough adhesive on here. So we're gonna try to get this really good. First thing is I'm going to take this and put it in this box like that, like this, and I'm going to use this Super 77 stuff right here. Shake it up a bit. No more fiddly diddly. Let's do this. Okay. Make sure you got good coverage. Okay. Just spray that really good. Okay, I think I got it. Alright, now it's starting to dry, of course, so I'm going to lift that wood thing up here. And I need to put it down where I want it. Make sure every bit of it is on there, and press it on there really good. Alright. I'm going to use my brayer like I always do. Now, I need that adhesive to dry before I start peeling it. What I'm going to do to speed up drying, I could use a heat gun or a hair dryer, hair blower. I could just leave this alone, and in 15 minutes, according to the can, it only says like 5 to 15 minutes or 3 to 15 minutes or whatever for a complete dry for this adhesive. And I need that to happen because if the image isn't completely adhered to the fabric, then it's just going to leave it on my paper, right? But I'm going to throw it on this heat press. It's been off for a few minutes, but it's still got some warmth. And I think that'll speed up the heating here. So you can just let it sit for 15 minutes or heat it, whatever, or just leave it alone. Doesn't matter. 15 minutes later, come back. But I need to speed this up. I got a lot of things I got to do today. It's real busy around here every single day. It's really busy. Now this, of course, is removed with water, which, is not as easy as a heat transfer where you just peel it off, right? Like a sticker. But at the same token, you don't have a heat transfer paper, or you don't have a heat press or whatever, and you happen to have my paper because you're doing wood transfers and stuff like that and like that, or you know, on metal or furniture or whatever, you can't do that with a t-shirt heat transfer paper. That'd just be goofy. And besides, that stuff's pretty expensive too. All right, so you already got this paper in your house. You told the kids, hey, let me make you a Iron Man shirt. That's how you do it. All right, let's just wet this. And you know, this isn't going to hurt fabric, spraying it with water. So, you know, it's a little thing you have to do with this paper. Now, when you're transferring onto wood or something, normally you'll take a piece of a paper towel and take up the excess water from the back of this transfer paper, and you do that because wet paper is weak, and that means it's going to tear and you're going to have to peel off in multiple peels. We're going to have to do that with this because this adhesive is really strong and we need a full release of the paper. It's not like we're going up against gel medium here. And on top of that too is that when you're doing it on wood and stuff, you know, you take up the excess water, it strengthens the paper and allows you to peel in one peel. But you'll find that it's not as easy when you're doing it on this fabric stuff. So let it really soak in. Give it every bit. See, it's just soaking that water in. And maybe because it's fabric and fabric absorbs a lot of water, it's absorbing this water quickly. So I'm going to do it again. I want the best release. I want as much color to come off this paper as possible. All right, now we got to figure out how to peel it up. I'm going to go to a corner here, hold it up. Here we go. And so you're gonna pull this off in multiple peels, right? Look at that. That's pretty good, isn't it? All right, so you know, we gave it enough time to dry, and I sped it up with that heat press just for giggles. Pick another one here. Let's see, this edge. Always want to be careful, no matter what type of paper you're using, that you're not peeling off your image. Because either one will happen if you're not careful. All right, give it some more water there. I mean, it absorbs this water really quick. So make sure you give it enough water there. You want a full release. And here. There's the rest of that. That's looking really good. I'm really proud of that one. And this is laser printer. So some of you guys, you know, don't want to buy that really expensive laser printer transfer paper. That stuff is pricey. You know, you're not in the business maybe. Because if you're in the business of making t-shirts, don't use this paper for that. This is for you DIYers at home. You know, you want to have some fun and, you know. But if you're selling this stuff, you got to stick with that expensive paper, okay? So please, you know, don't sell this to people. Make it for yourself. If you're in the market of doing this for others, then you use the paper that's designed for this. This is not designed for this, though of course I could say it's designed for anything because I made it. That's my paper. But I just like being straightforward with you guys. It's like, this is cool to make your own little t-shirts and hobby stuff, but I just don't think it's, I mean, I don't know. If I come up with a way to make this thing like last forever in the wash, then sure, why not, right? Just trying to get a little bit of paper off that I could see was left on. But look at this. Look at that. All right. So that's the quick transfer paper using a laser printer. Okay, and let's do the old stretch there. Okay. Let's stretch that. And you can see it does stretch, and you want to stretch it, okay, before you seal it. All right. There you go. Okay. And there's a slight color difference because of my printers are different. But there is the one from the inkjet printer using the image transfer paper. Okay. And then there's the one that is done with my laser printer and the quick transfer paper with no iron. No ironing. Just spray the adhesive on and glue it on, and in 15 minutes or however you want to speed up that heating, drying of the glue, add water, and then peel it off. But that is a perfect transfer, and it feels like the shirt itself with just a very mild smooth surface here compared to the shirt's a little rougher, and then this is a little smoother. And this one, same thing. Same exact thing. All right, now I could tell you right now, if I wash this shirt right now, this transfer paper side that you see here, okay, is going to come out and it's going to look virtually the same as it does right now, virtually. If I was to wash this, half of it's going to probably come off, and that's because it's not fixed, it's not sealed. So if you use quick transfer paper, because that's what you have at home, or you don't have a heat press, or you don't want to mess with an iron or whatever, so you're using this paper just for funsies, do get it fixed, all right? So you can at least wash it and wear it a few times. Then I'm going to stick it in this box, go outside, and I'm going to use this crystal clear stuff to seal it. And that apparently stays on your fabric through washes and stuff. Okay, turn your shirts inside out before throwing in the wash. Don't throw your t-shirts in there with heavier items, because the abrasiveness of heavy items could wear against the image. It doesn't matter what paper you use. The advice I'm giving you right now is for any printed shirt, whether it's screen printed, transfer paper printed, doesn't matter, iron-ons, doesn't matter. Okay, you want to make sure you put it in with like items, like other t-shirts and so forth. Washing cold. Personally, after the spin cycle is done in the wash, I would take your t-shirts out and I would just hang them, not in the sun though, because the sun will fade all images. But I would hang it out to air dry. Just, if your washroom has a hanger, use that or whatever. Rather than throw it in the dryer. The dryer gets really, really hot. And again, you're tumbling it with other stuff in there. And so, of course, there's more friction. But the thing is whether it's the quick transfer paper or the iron-on, these are all, all affected by heat one way or the other, right? So just let it air dry, okay? And then, of course, you can always take it out, give it a quick iron and get the wrinkles out, if any. And I'm going to fold it like so. I'm going to fold this till I see the image showing there. Where are you? There you are. I'm going to fold that back like so. There we go. Fold this in like this. I'm going to take this, fold it into the image starts to show, then roll it back a little bit, and then take this side, roll it into the image shows, and then put it back that way. Alright, and the reason why is because I got a little ambitious here. Let me fix that. I just want to spray around the image. I don't want to have to spray the whole t-shirt. I just want to seal the image in here to protect it from the wash, so I could wear it more than once. So there. Okay. So I'm going to seal that with this crystal clear acrylic coating, but I'm going to do it outside because this thing really smells. So let's stick this in the box like so, and fold under anything you don't really care about sealing the extra white area here, and that looks about right for me right there. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and go out there and spray this really good, and then I'll be back. I just sprayed this outside. I just sprayed this really good with this crystal clear Krylon acrylic spray. Okay, make sure all the cameras can see that. And it looks like I got it all pretty good. I went this way, and then I went this way, and then I made sure I went around the edges because you want to make sure the edges are sealed. And so now I'm going to let this dry right here. Look how good it looks. It even gives it a richer color look to it when you do that. And so after this, we're going to test it out in washing and stretching and all that other wonderful stuff. All right. I'm going to give it a little stretch right now. Let it get some of that acrylic in there, even though probably a dumb idea. All right, so now while this is drying, I'm going to take a a minute or two, just kind of go over a few things here with you guys. Okay, hope you find it useful. This quick transfer paper that I had created it because I didn't have an easy way to transfer images onto my wood pieces that I like to do. I make these really nice looking photo things, that are made from slices from trees. I like to make these little coaster thingies just for fun. I just do a lot of those. I also like transferring images into various books because I'm a sports fan. I like basketball and stuff, and I also like Marvel Comics type thing. Yeah, I know. For a 62-year-old, that is a little bit different, huh? These are things that my wife and daughter were working on. Okay, you can tell because of the little heart and the little rivets, whatever this stuff is. But this is the transfer paper did this. All right, so these are not photos glued on here, and there's some. Oh, look, I got a board in here. Hey, brand new board. Okay, some things I was doing here. Some little parasital paradise type images, vintage cars, posters. Okay. Bird, lighthouse. I was experimenting with all these things. So if you want to like stick photos, see there's some more hot rods. Hot rod posters. I like hot rod posters, and also like concert posters. So I did this shirt as you saw earlier, or on canvas, for example. It's fun. This is really fun. I mean, I just don't know how else to say it. If you have some ideas, if you're wondering, hey, what about putting it on this? Will it hold this? Will it do this? Whatever. Give me some ideas. Put it down in the comments below, because I read all the comments. I'll try them out. Just like I did with the canvas, like I did with the tile. Nobody asked me about shirts, but there you go. Now we've got t-shirts. Matter of fact, why am I keeping this all folded up? Just unfold this. But here is the transfer paper that I did. Transfer paper. And here is my transfer. So this one is this is the one that's iron-on transfer. That's iron-on transfer, professional iron-on transfer. And that is RixCanDoIt quick transfer paper. And right now, you can't tell the difference of either. But after we wash it a couple of times, we'll take a look at it and we'll see how they both stand up. So I'm going to give it 24 hours because they tell you don't even wash the iron-on transfer for 24 hours. So I'm going to give it 24 hours, and tomorrow, but not tomorrow for you, but tomorrow for me, I'm going to wash this inside out. I'm going to wash it inside out, cold water wash with just a few other t-shirts, and then I'm going to hang it up to air dry after it spin dries in the washer. And then I'm going to come back here and show you what they both look like. Now for you, it's in a few seconds. I'm back, and it's the next day. Hopefully you can tell by the change of shirt. And I have just taken this out of the dryer. I washed it, but I put it on air dry for 20 minutes, so it's still very moist. And I'm just hanging it to dry because the shirts last longer that way. But anyway, let's take a look at how this turned out here. Now, this here is the back of the shirt. Okay, this is the front of the shirt. Okay, so this here is the transfer paper that's actually made for doing t-shirt transfers. That's what the product is for, and it's made by PPD, Photo Paper Direct. All right, and you can see that right there. Now in the back is the transfer paper, or the transfer that is not actually meant for t-shirts to be thrown in the wash. You can certainly do it, you know, for like one-time, two-time use without running it through the wash all the time. But we just thought we'd go ahead and check it out. And there's the quick transfer paper that's not meant for making t-shirts. Not too bad, huh? So we're going to examine that a little closer. But it does look like spraying it with the clear did help. It's not going to be as good as this because this is actually made for that purpose. I don't see any cracking or anything here, so it looks like we still have a pretty solid image using the PPD. Not too bad at all. I like that's good. All right, and this now we'll take a look at the quick transfer paper. Unorthodox use. Oh wow. Can you see that? I mean, seriously, I am surprised. But I don't see any loss of image. I do see a little bit of kind of a cracking. But I mean, you got to admit, I mean, for something that was not even made for this, my paper did a really good job. Huh. Wow. That is really something. It's a little bit of it fracturing here, you know, a little cracking. Another thing too is it's not as smooth as the actual PPD paper is. It's got a little bit rougher texture to it, but it's fine. Wow, I'm really impressed with this, and you know, I'm going to keep up my experiments to see what else I could do. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I know something you can do that's so much easier than the image transfer paper for t-shirts, and that is putting stuff on hats. You don't need a heat press. You don't need an iron, and if you had a heat press and an iron, it would be very difficult for you to press it onto that with an iron or heat press. But in the next video, I'm going to go take a hat, maybe this one or another one that doesn't have anything in the front, and we're going to put an image on it. Maybe we'll even put images on the bin. It's not like you throw this in the washer every day, right? Should last a really, really long time, considering this thing survived the wash as well as it did. All right, well, hey, thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're interested in my quick transfer paper, go down into the description. There's a link there. The website is RixCanDoIt.com. That's my main website. It's not pretty, but it's functional. And you can get the paper there if you're interested in it. There you go. That's the quick transfer paper. And that's the PPD t-shirt transfer paper. Yeah, not too chabby. The color difference is, this is the true color with the quick transfer paper, because my inkjet printer doesn't really print true. It's a little untrue, but still. All right, catch you later. Oh, please, thumbs up so YouTube will not hide me in the video basement like they do with a lot of videos. See you later. Bye.